Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Millennial Talk. And today with me, I have Bukunmi. Hi Bukunmi.
Hi,
I just found that
Josephine.
you're dressed in all black today. What's going on? Where are we going after this show?
Really, nothing is happening. I just wanted to, be a cool babe.
Anyways, so today we're going to be discussing on the show online digital SME scams. Well, this is something that everyone is familiar with. Bukunmi, I'm sure you're very familiar with it.
Well, I don't really think I've been scammed like that because my eyes always everywhere.
Everywhere, right? I'm a very suspicious person,
Yes,
actually.
I'm very
so
skeptical
I find it
too.
difficult to be very trusting of online brands.
But if you see people's testimonies and
More,
stories and
there's a
those
lot
things.
of like people have been scammed for real,
Yes.
and sometimes I think it has to do with, it involves a lot of, just like I said, suspicion. Be very suspicious.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into the conversation. So the big question is, what is online scam? I mean, there's a lot of ways to define it, but online scams is online, like digital scams, is when scammers pose as legitimate sellers online, either using a legitimate website or fake website or a legitimate retail site, like we know the likes of Jumia, they're scammers.
Fake ad.
And these sellers, they use the nature of the internet, because it has an anonymous nature of the internet to scam unsuspecting shoppers.
Yes.
Basically, because most of these sites, this online site like eBay, there's a lot of them. You have to literally put your card details in some of these sites. You have to pay and make payment online before it gets delivered to you. So there's a probability that you might be scammed if you're not careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Many of these online scammers actually clone websites also. They clone websites, they clone Instagram pages, Facebook pages, and they also steal your data from the back end of all these websites. So sometimes they hack into your to steal your data that you've probably put on a website. And sometimes, so when you get all these emails and all of those things, you have to be careful. So have you ever been a victim of what I ordered versus what I got?
That's a tricky one. The funny thing is that also stands as a form of scam, because the truth is they might actually buy something at a very cheap rate and post it as the original and sell it to people that are not suspecting. So they pay like double or triple the price that item was bought. So that's actually a form of scam.
So as millennials, we need to be able to be careful enough to identify these people. We need to be able to separate the bad eggs from the good eggs. So there are times when you buy something online and it could be a sincere mistake, and that's why you have to ensure that even trusted brands make this mistake. So you have to ensure that whatever brand you are doing business with, there are brands that are trusted. So you can always go back and say, oh, this is what I got. And most times they refund or they do whatever they want to do. They can look into the matter for you. But for online scammers, for scammers that pose as business people online, as legitimate sellers online, you will most likely never ever get what you ordered. You would always get a fake product. So now, well, this video is to help you ensure, to give you deets and how to find out, and how to, look out for these online scammers. So, but before we go on, we have people who want to share their testimonies. I think one person in particular that had a very funny story. So we would like you to see this and we'll be right back.
I received a mail from a long-time friend. Actually, he's like a church member. And he started his master's in Greenland. So when I got the mail, I really thought, yeah, this was for real. And what was in the mail was that he wanted to do his project and he had to travel to China. So all of the stuff that he needed to use in China, like he didn't have enough money. He just needed some money to complete it. And it was in the mail, right? He was saying everything like, okay, he was going to pay an interest, all of this, that. And the mail was for real. It was actually from him. And so I think what I should have actually done was to call his number to confirm if that mail was actually from him. But because of the rush and all, the mail was just coming back to back, and it was like I was jazzed, like really, I couldn't even just call, or I was not thinking straight. So after a while, he sent me his account number, and before I knew it, I had paid. And all I just needed to do was, okay, I started calling him back after about a week, because he promised that, okay, after a week he was going to pay me back. That's vinyl. Like, it was not. So in the end, I realized it was not really the person that I thought I was conversing with. that has been sending the mail all the while had sent the money and with proper account number and all. I even went as far as reporting when I now found out, because the account number I paid to was not his own account number. And the whole story in the mail was basically like I needed to pay to that other account number because it was in China, so he couldn't access the money with his own account number. So I picked the other account number, and unfortunately, really, I was scammed because now calling him back, he was like, no, that his email was hacked and all, that he was not the one, and unfortunately, that person had sent several mails to many other people, but so many people, so he started getting calls. And from the calls, he now started calling his own friends back, the people he had sent mail to say, no, this was a scam and all. For me, feeling like, yes, I'm a B, I have people, I have network, let me go to the police station, let me call my bank, and all of that. The thinking I was going to get the money back was about 150,000. Unfortunately, the police said, just write statements. You can't do anything. That's the end. Nothing came from it. Even the bank said there's nothing they can do. But they've been seeing traces of that guy actually doing similar things, but there's actually nothing they can do.
So this is my scam experience, and this was how it happened. Mine happened on Instagram. So there was this particular address I wanted to get for an event, and then I searched for certain vendors on Instagram just to get the dress, and I bumped on one particular one that I liked. I really, really liked that dress. And note that while I was going through that page, I discovered, or I had a feeling that it probably might not be real because of the, the models that were on the page, and then how the Instagram page was structured, their kind of content. It was kind of different from the regular vendor you would find on Instagram. It was just different, but because I felt like no other page or no other vendor on Instagram had that particular address, and then let me just give it a try. And then I went for it. I ordered for the dress. Mind you, this dress was actually 40,000 naira, and I was not even mindful or conscious of the price at all. I just wanted to get the dress by all means. And then I paid for the dress. I reached out, okay, my delivery. And the thing was, the guy could not even get, or the person handling the page did not get all my, my detail. He didn't get my contact, he didn't get my address. And I was wondering why. So I asked him that, aren't you going to get my address and whatnot? And I said, oh, okay, send your address. And then I sent my address. I was expecting my dress. First day, second day, and then the day of the event, I still kept on calling. The next I noticed was that I was blocked on Instagram. My number was blocked. I even tried reaching out through my friend's page and tried calling him through my friend's number as well. He blocked us, or she blocked us. I don't know whoever the person was, but we got blocked, and then until I had to forget about the dress. I forgot about the money and everything. So that's my scam experience.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed it and you could learn something from that experience. So, we have to also, go into how you can identify this, online scam. There are several ways you can be wary of these issues as a millennial. Several ways to actually identify them.
Yeah. And one of the ways to identify this online scam is unbelievable prices. Oh my God. Imagine, for instance, Bone Straight. We all know how expensive Bone Straight is. And somebody is posing Bone Straight at 20K.
It's a lie now. Like, it happens with hair. It happens with
but the truth is,
brands.
but the truth is, there are people who, they might even tell you that this is a promo. A promo price.
Okay.
So they're like, this is promo. So what you need to do is pay this 20K, and we're doing a 20% discount from this day in the month to this day. I've seen more. The truth is, legit online stores, they actually run promo.
No, they run promo,
but not to that level. So when the price is unbelievable, or they are telling you that this product, it can do so many things, obviously you're about to get ripped off.
Yes, obviously.
So that's one of the things.
Even if the product is, for example, use Bone Straight as an example. Now, there are different grades of Bone Straight.
Of course.
So a donor hair would be would never go for 20K. It would be 200,000 and the rest. So there are different grades. So if somebody tells you they're running a promo of maybe a fiber, mixed fiber, not original human hair bone straight. It could go for 20,000. So
of course,
as a millennial or as somebody who is shopping online, you need to be smart enough to know that, to look out. Don't be a thief, don't be greedy. To look out for, okay, what is the product? What am I getting? You know, we talked about in our previous video, we talked about when something is too good to be true. So when somebody is giving you something that is too good to be true, only if you're a greedy person. And you know, scammers thrive on greed. They thrive on the fact that, oh, you are really desperate to get a cheap deal. So and it happens with fashion, hair, even phones.
Everything.
It happens with phones. So in another situation, when an online seller tells you to pay immediately, pay quickly, or else you miss out on this deal. Pay now. If you don't pay in the next 5 minutes, that's
the deal is going to be over.
It's going to be over. You need to be careful. Big brand, trusted brands. When trusted brands want to run promos, when they want to run discounts, for example, sales and all of that, there's usually a period from 19th to 20th,
and it's usually festive.
And festive periods or something, the Valentine's season, Easter season, Easter sales. There's always something attached, or there's a theme, or they're doing an anniversary. For example, Jumia is doing an anniversary still, or Tech Weekend, or you know. But when you see a Jumia ad and it tells you, buy now. If you don't buy now, offer is going to be done in 1 hour. You are going to definitely get scammed. So if there's no track record, if there's no, you can't really tell, you know, where this deal is coming from, and you're in a hurry to pay. Except you were late. Maybe you said it was going to run from 1921, and you got that maybe ad, or you got the information on 21st. Okay, you can rush to pay because you don't want to miss out on. But when somebody just tell you pay now, you know, it's just like they just want to confuse you and, you know, bring out that greed or that emotion in you to get you to buy. So you know, you really have to be careful.
Yeah, that's true. And to add to that, one of the most important things I think people need to look out for to avoid getting scammed online is you have to look at information. Information is important. I think so far that we've been doing this series on different types of scams, we have talked about information a lot. When you go to a brand's page,
research. It's researcher's mind. Really.
It's a new page, and you are seeing Fendi bag for 15K. We go to Fendi's website first and check that bag. If you're actually someone who is looking out to buy an original piece. You know, there are people who they don't want an original. Exactly.
Inferior quality.
Yeah, there is. So you want to look at the brand that actually the original website of that brand. You need to look at the address. You need to look at, there's so many information that we need to look out for. And if this information do not correlate with what you see on these online pages or these retail sellers, you just run for your life, because they are probably going to scam you. You see a new page with just 5 pictures and telling you to buy, or there's not even enough details. There's no address, there's no phone number, there's no website. These are the things we need to look at, especially when it comes to retail buying. We do it a lot because with the coronavirus, everybody buys stuff online now, even as little as food. You know, there are 2 types of scamming: the ones who will give you inferior products for the money, or the ones who will not deliver at all. Yes. So these are things we really need to look out for. Say, for instance, you decide to buy something worth 100K online. You can't. Money is hard. You don't want to throw 100K away. So you need to be careful that you're actually buying from someone who is trusted. If it is a very popular brand, you know, there are people who pose as very, very popular brands. They will have fake websites of an original brand.
That's what we talked about. That's
and the common thing might just be instead of HAPT, there might be another kind of. Just watch out for those very little details. You will see Jumia.com, but it might have .com.car. You have to be suspicious of that extra car, because there's no car in the original Jumia website.
They clone website, they clone social media pages. So, you know, a page just comes to you through sponsored ads, especially on Instagram, and they just deals, beautiful deals. Most time, if you go through the page, you see that the pictures are posted maybe 5 days ago. How would somebody post 100 pictures 5 days ago? It's not possible. So
I do actually do that personally. If I'm trying to buy from an online vendor and I really like what I see there, I will go to the first post. If I don't see 6 months, 1 year ago, I will run for my life, honestly.
And you can tell if the business is a new business or if it's fake. You can just tell, you would know. So moving on from there, most times we are visually attracted. People are visually we buy, by visuals is what we see that we buy. So you need to be careful if a brand keeps posting other people's content, unoriginal content, unoriginal pictures. They keep posting, especially sometimes you even know we had a lot of social media content creators complain about their pictures being stolen, complain about their brand. They'll clean the original text. They clean the thumbnail thing they call it. They clean the logo. They clean the logos. They clean all of those things just to repost on their pages. I'm sorry, I don't know if I should mention it, but Chinese brands do that a lot, so you have to be careful. So of course there are original Chinese manufacturers, but there are some people who steal other people's pictures, other people's content, and use it as their own. Scam. They even use it to run ads. So you would think it's that person, the original brand that is doing that, but no, it's not the original brand. It's somebody else who has stolen their identity. So you need to be careful. Look out for original content. In fact, I would rather buy from a brand that is authentic. They may not have they may not be standard and all the pictures, but somebody is just talking, oh, this is what I'm selling, this is what this is what I'm doing, and all of that. I would buy instead of you posting a perfect picture that is not from your own, that wasn't taken by you. So we need to look out for that.
That also brings me to my next point, which is face to the brand. It is very important that you look out for this. Now, I know that there are trusted brands who do not have a face to it. But guess what? Like, for instance, this online shopping thing has expanded to all angles. Right now, people even shop on WhatsApp. People who have business lines, because there's now WhatsApp business, they are able to post picture. But guess what? You can relate directly to the person. So it's still a bit better. Even if that person is not posting original pictures, this is my friend's phone number. You get that still, so you can already identify a face to that brand. But if you're talking about online shopping for places you don't know the seller, or there should be a face to the brand. I think that if there's a face to the brand, I just feel a bit more safe with putting my money out there, because I feel like, oh, I can take this picture somewhere and say, do you know this person? Or I can just post it online and say, do you know this person? I paid 100K and I've not gotten my goods.
Reviews, you
can understand?
Use other people's reviews, you know? And even if there's no face to the brand, somebody would have bought something and posted them using that thing. And the brand will most likely repost somebody using that. So imagine a Nigerian brand or a fashion brand that doesn't have a face to it. Somebody else must have bought their product, and you see they'll post a picture of somebody wearing it. So you can relate that, okay, people are buying these things, people are wearing it.
People have to always look out for a face. And I think even SMEs, they need to step up with that.
They need to step up with that. Creation,
because if you want people to trust you, you need to be able to put enough information out there for me to trust you, to put my money. Because these days brands, because they say they are skeptical of being scammed too, because there are also buyers that scam people. Exactly. That's the funny thing. But that's not the topic for today. That's not the topic for today. But let's focus on today's topic. The truth is, we think that there needs to be a balance. The sellers need to put out enough information so they can be trusted, and the buyers need to look out for this information as well.
And not talking about trust, you also have to watch out for secure payment platforms. So, for example, I know in Nigeria, because we are still growing in terms of technology advancement and all of those things. So people use their personal account numbers and stuff. So that's why when going back to face of the brand. So if I know there's a face to the brand, I can send you money because I know that I can hold you and I can report you or something. I can go to the bank. But if, for example, somebody says my business name is for example Bukunmi Limited, and the account number they're giving me is Bolu Limited or Chika Limited. No, so you should know that there's a problem somewhere. You should ask why. Why is it not the same, account number? And looking at payment gateways also, there's Flutterwave. You should look out for brands that have popular and majorly used, trusted. So even if majorly trusted payment gateways. So even if there's a problem, you can either go back to Flutterwave, you can go back to maybe InterSwitch, you can go back to MasterCard, you can go back to any, you can report Paystack, you can report to anyone. But when there's no secure payment, and you're putting your information online, and you have to be careful, ensure that you mentioned HTTPS, ensure that the login details or the website URL, ensure that it is correct, because sometimes scammers would put a fake link there and that redirects you to somewhere else. So while you are clicking, always look at your URL up on your, on your, either on your phone, on your system, on your search box area, and always ensure that it is the same place. So not that you're looking at, okay, maybe clothes.com and it's redirecting you to www.trouser.com to put your payment details. You have to be careful. So watch out for secure payment platforms. We are millennials, and really we should actually be
up to date with these things.
Up to date with this thing. We need to be very, enlightened about secure payment platforms.
Yeah, that's true. And to add to that, I've noticed this thing with websites. I think it's a smart thing Google does, because, for instance, I'm trying to search for a particular website, or maybe I'm trying to buy something online, and you notice that there is no padlock sign. There's this padlock icon that's always beside. If it is not a secure website, you will notice you show a triangle with a warning sign that this is an unsecure website. It will tell you that you're at risk. You understand? So those are little information. But the thing is, sometimes we don't read those things. We just cancel it.
Yes, as soon as it pops up, cookies, accept everything.
It's not every cookie. They'll be giving you cookies. Take cookie. That thing is so funny. Every website
what is cooking? When they had to Google what cookies were, and I saw that website.
They take your information.
They use cookies to gather your information. They take your information. They use it to get your digital footprint. To know how to use your information. You don't even know what they're using. Majority of them will say advertising. Yeah. But you don't exactly know what these brands or platforms are using your data for. So you're putting your email, you're putting your card details, you're putting they have it though. It's just that they'll promise you that is secure. Secure. That's so really.
And that's true. People should also look for security policies. Every brand has a policy when it comes to security. They'll tell you, some brands will state it as soon as you try to register, they will pop it up that we will never use your information is secure with us. Things like that. So I think those very little details are very, very important.
Yes, and we also need to let people know how they can protect themselves online. First of all, when you're buying something online, always look out for the brand's policy, refund policy. In Nigeria, it's actually a crime to say there is no refund. Actually, but people don't know. Majority of people who buy things online don't know. Any brand that tells you no refund is actually a crime. I really don't have the exact data or law or the I don't know those things they quote. I don't even have the exact, but it is a crime to say no refund or no, once you pay, no after refund. Payment, that's the end. No, it is actually a crime. You need to watch out for brands that say, you should at least be having an opportunity to refund gives gives room for trust. Okay, if anything happens.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, most of these Instagram brands, when you see it's on their profile, no refund. I
think the problem straight up. Yeah, I think the issue also will be with us who are buying.
Just like we said earlier. Exactly. So I read a story sometimes a few months ago. It was about a lady who sells human hair. Now, this is why most brands usually say payment before delivery. And no refunds or no changing. Imagine you selling bag. Wouldn't you be frustrated if the person who tried to buy a bag from you has returned it 5 times?
Or tells you the color was not what I thought it was.
And it might just be they changed their mind. Or they didn't give a clear description of what they wanted. Yes. So they frustrate some of these online sellers to the point where they had to put that policy no refund. Yeah, exactly. And in some cases, just like you mentioned earlier, fake alerts. Fake alerts, things like that. And if these sellers are losing money trying to sell to you, you're also ruining their business. I remember, going back to the story I was going to highlight. Somebody mentioned that someone bought 2 pieces of hair. She first bought one. The lady said that's not what she wanted, but she held on to the hair. She tried to return. The lady said, okay, when I send you another one, so you don't think I'm scamming you, you can return that one. She took the 2 hair and paid 90K, and each of these hair was 90K each. So the seller lost 90,000 naira. So she never returned it, and she became anonymous. So the lady had to call her out on social media. So these are the reasons. So I think both parties need to be responsible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they need to be responsible.
So we need to watch out for these things as millennials. Yeah. Protect yourself also. Be smart enough to to be able to dissect and analyze and look at. You can really tell, and please don't be too greedy.
But we are saying you're saying you can really tell, but the truth is a lot of people cannot tell. Right? Some scammers are very smart, so which is why we also have to sit up and find these informations that would help us avoid being victim of circumstances.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I hope you've learned something from today's episode about digital SME scams. For more information on the markets, investments, commodities, capital markets, log on to www.proshareng.com. Thank you for watching.